對於加拿大有幾有歸屬感
Is that like how patriotic? To me, I don't know. I don't really see myself as too patriotic. I don't know. I kind of just.
或者咁講 how do you consider yourself as part of the community in Canada?
Yeah. I would say.
Or you still think you are an outsider?
No, I definitely think I am. Like I belong here. I definitely do think that I belong here. I don't know what makes me feel like I belong. Maybe it's like the communication thing. Like I'm able to communicate with everyone around me, so I feel like I am more a part of it. And there are like events that happen, and then you join those events, and yeah.
咁你父母有幾？你會覺得你父母係 part of community，定係你會覺得你父母都係一個 outsider？
I think for them, they feel like more of an outsider, and I kind of see them more of an outsider. I think one of the main reasons is because of the language barrier, because they choose not to learn and speak English. I think once you do start speaking the language, you'll see yourself as more like integral.
佢哋有幾關心呢度發生嘅嘢？譬如佢哋會唔會去投票啊，或者點樣
No, not at all.
咁譬如話佢會唔會話即係附近環境會改變啊？咁有啲抗議活動啊嗰啲，我唔知呢度即係呢度譬如話我唔知即係譬如冬季奧運好耐之前未發生過一個冬季奧運，可能即係呢度都要投票，我贊唔贊成去搞冬季奧運啊？呢啲
Oh, right.
你知唔知道你父母會唔會話去參與呢啲嘅討論？
Yeah, they never really participated in any of those things, and so maybe that's why I also feel like I haven't done any of those things, because they grew up like not, like doing the whole voting and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they were never really into politics, never really into like anything like big like Canada related. The biggest Canada thing related thing they do is like go to a parade on Canada Day, and that is about it. So
都好啊。
Yeah.
咁佢哋都唔睇 hockey 啊？
No. I think maybe like my one uncle watches hockey, and nobody else in my family really does.
咁你會唔會其實都會想佢哋多啲投入呢度嘅生活啦？定係你覺得都冇乜所謂？
I think it definitely helps. Just so I think if you try those activities, you might feel like you are more a part of that community. So I think if they did try, then they'll probably feel like more of an insider. But even then, I don't know if they feel like an outsider or insider if I were to ask them today. So
即係都未必係一個好困擾佢哋嘅。咁你自己會覺得你自己有幾 whitewash 程度嚟講
I would say maybe like, I think it's pretty split. Like pretty like 50-50. Yeah. I've definitely tried a lot of like activities that you would consider like more whitewash activities, and sometimes like the things I say or like the jokes I would make is like you would have to really understand English to understand those kind of jokes and stuff. So
因為有啲嘅討論咧，就係話即係尤其是香港嘅移民啦，尤其是溫哥華啦，就會有啲嘅討論咧，就係話你哋啲香港人過到去其他嘅地方，你就將香港嘅嘢全部帶晒過嚟，咁整一個仲比 Chinatown 仲大嘅 Richmond， 你喺嗰度就淨係識食中餐，淨係即係識睇中文講中文，你都唔識得，都唔需要投入呢度嘅生活，咁唔係一個移民，唔係真係移居去其他地方，你都冇人用嗰個其他地方，有個咁樣嘅批評嘅。
Yeah.
你點樣？
Yeah, I definitely think if you are here, obviously you can't just 100% right away integrate into whatever culture it is. I think you do have to try other things instead of just staying within your own bubble. I think a lot of people in Richmond don't really leave that bubble. And they exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly. They just choose to stay within that bubble, and I think it's fine if you really want to, but in order to fully experience another country or culture, I think you should do some exploration, you know. I think maybe English is one of the bigger barriers. A lot of them that live in Richmond, they still only speak like in Chinese and they don't really converse in English, and yeah.
嗱，呢個都係一個好好嘅問題啦。其實即係講英文咧，就即係其實香港人咧都由細到大都有呢方面嘅教育嘅。咁但係咧就好多香港人咧會好過韓國人。
Okay.
我唔知你會唔會即係總之，如果我哋講英文嘅時候有口音嘅時候咧，我哋就會覺得自己英文好差。
Oh, I see.
跟住就唔敢講。
Right. That's probably how my mom feels too, and how other people would feel just because they have an accent. They're afraid of saying it, but it's a barrier that you have to get past because at the end of the day, no one really cares. As long as you're able to. I really don't think so. I think it's more important that you try and communicate. Because I think one of the biggest barriers is like not being able to communicate your thoughts and what you're trying to say effectively. So even if you say it with an accent, or if it doesn't come out properly, at least you're trying, and I think most people respect that. Yeah.
其實係好緊要呢樣嘢，因為香港就有一個我哋有一個嘅俗語啦，叫做口音塔利班，即係一個恐怖分子咁樣，即係尤其是香港人自己會對自己香港人嘅口音咧好討厭，即係佢會覺得你英文講得唔好就唔好講啦。
I see. Yeah, I don't really see too much of that here. As long as like you're polite about it and you have your manners, it doesn't really matter if you have an accent or if you can't speak in full sentences.
我有聽過一個古仔啦，咁我嘅以前一個嘅朋友啦，咁佢就係越南人嚟嘅，咁但係佢嚟咗呢度好多年啦，咁我同佢嘅對答全部都係講英文啦，我完全覺得佢係本地人嚟嘅。咁但係咧，佢嘅下一代咧，佢同咗一個白人結婚啦，咁佢嘅下一代都係完全係講英文啦咁樣。咁佢話佢嘅下一代咧會笑佢啲口音，跟住你都有口音，你完全唔覺嘅喎。佢話係啊，即係佢哋會覺得我有口音。咁你有冇即係嗱，好坦白講，又即係大個咗就唔會咁樣諗自己哋父母啦。但係細個嘅時候，你唔會即係都會覺得父母嘅英文好奇怪咧。即係唔緊要嘅，我幫你打格仔。
Yeah. Maybe just like a little bit, but it never really bothered me too much. Yeah, like I think it's going to be like that. You know, learning a new language, you're not going to be fully fluent in it. So yeah.
明白嘅。咁你比較包容啲啦。
Yeah.
你冇好似嗰啲死仔包咁樣會笑自己阿媽嘅英文。你自己有冇經歷過一啲歧視啊
？Possibly. I think mostly when I still get it here and there, in very like maybe like subtle ways. It doesn't bother me too much, and luckily I was like never really targeted for anything like that.
Crime.
Yeah, which is good.
有冇一啲失途嘅經驗去分享？因為我都明嘅，有時候咧，我都唔知道佢咁樣對我究竟係歧視啊，定係咁樣啦，定一係話係嗰個人本身係冇禮貌。
Yeah.
呢個係有時係唔知嘅。咁即係喺而家呢個社會啦，即係而家呢啲時候啊，我明白我係可以 speak up 嘅。如果有啲人有啲咁樣嘅歧視行為，我可以話俾佢聽，佢咁樣做係啱。但係同一時間咧，我都唔想做一個 drama queen， 即係咩都話佢歧視你，我都唔想係咁樣。咁但係有啲嘢係個界線係好模糊嘅。
Yes, for sure.
亦都會令到自己好困惑咧，究竟我應該 speak up 啦，定應該忍咗佢咧？係唔知嘅，因為你有冇一啲嘅事件可以分享你覺得係失途嘅 discrimination？
Okay. most of the time I just try to keep an open mind and I give them a benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it might just be manners or ignorance, like they just really don't know. So unless it is something that is very like a direct attack on me, I usually just kind of let it slide and don't let it bother me. Because I think if you do take it a little bit more personally, then they might keep on like picking it at you. But if you kind of just like, oh, it doesn't faze me kind of thing, then they just kind of leave you alone. But yeah, I definitely think if they're being very direct at it, and you should definitely speak up. Yeah.
但係係咯，就係即係都好彩嘅，我諗喺尤其是而家啦，我諗同廿年前、30年前都會有好大嘅唔同啦。
For sure, yeah.
因為我都聽過啦，純粹聽翻嚟就係話尤其是喺小朋友嘅時候，尤其是以前嘅一啲嘅小朋友，即係可能尤其是小朋友佢唔會有好多嘅教育，即係話俾佢聽，喂，其實人人平等㗎，即係唔同嘅膚色係一樣㗎，即係可能唔會有啲咁樣嘅教育啦。咁佢會係即係嗌你花名啊，
Yeah.
或者係無論你叫咩名，佢都會嗌你 Bruce Lee 啊。
Oh yeah, yeah.
但係一個笑你嘅嗌法啦。
For sure.
咁樣會即係我諗小朋友嘅時候，如果面對即係大人，我梗係覺得let it go 啦，即係don't take it serious啦。大人可以咁樣同自己講，細路仔可能會面對呢啲嘅時候會比較唔開心。
Yeah.
我聽嘅時候就係話，即係嗰個人已經大咗啦，咁就係話佢細個嘅時候曾經面對過呢啲嘅，都叫做係 direct， 但係嘅 case。
For sure. I think it might have been a little bit different back then. I feel like now everything is a little bit more like politically correct, and people are afraid of throwing out terms and stuff like that just because we're in a more sensitive culture. But I do think you gotta be able to like stand up for yourself even as a kid. Sometimes people get bullied not only because of their race or whatever, but for other things as well. So yeah, you really just have to like learn how to stand up for yourself regardless. Yeah.
呢一方面，你有冇個人嘅經驗分享，或者你有聽過其他人即係點樣 speed up？
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a tricky one. I kind of want to say that growing up I didn't really get bullied that much because I knew how to stand up for myself, but I can't say that for sure, right? Maybe I just got lucky. Maybe the school I was in, everyone was just nice and there wasn't much bullying going on.
有冇聽過其他朋友嘅一啲嘅例子？
Yeah, actually one of my close friends, I think he did get bullied quite a bit when he was younger. But it wasn't only because like he was Asian, he just looked like a guy that would get picked on. I don't really know how to describe that.
明白嘅，即係有啲人可能佢矮細啲啊，或者係即係怕醜啲啊，佢會其他人就會覺得佢好恰啊。
Yeah.
你聽唔明好恰？
Yep.
聽到好恰啊，咁就會可能恰佢一次佢唔反抗，咁就會繼續蝦佢啊。
Yeah. So I think that's a different conversation in itself. I think, yeah, it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing.
但係佢有冇話 speak up for？
He definitely did. He definitely did. He always stood up for himself. So I think if he didn't, then he might have got picked on a little bit more. So
即係佢已經有即係大個仔啲就會繼續有反抗。
I think as he grew up, he kind of learned how to deal with those types of people. So it was mainly just when he was younger. Yeah. Not really. No. Oh, maybe in the workplace, my mom would have a complaint here or there. But then again, she doesn't know how to like really stand up for herself in a way. And maybe she does want to say some things, but she doesn't because she doesn't speak that much English, so she doesn't know how to like kind of express herself. So learn English, very important. Super important. That's the number one thing. If there's anything, I would say, in order to integrate into like any kind of community, you're gonna have to communicate. And how do you communicate? You're gonna have to learn their language.
你父母有冇講過話你即係將來一啲嘅結婚對象、拍拖嘅對象，有冇 同你講過喎，唔好同鬼婆拍拖。
They might have made it as a joke here and there. I don't think they really mean it though. I think at the end of the day, as long as you're happy, they're happy.
即係唔會話一定要你翻香港揾女仔咁樣。
No, definitely not.
冇話即係好認真嚴重。
Yeah, no, not that important.
因為咁講啦，可能以前都仲會有嘅，咁而家咧就可能白人會容易啲，咁但係你知其實加拿大會係好 multicultural 啦，唔淨止白人嘅民，咁而我哋仲有啲印度人啊，或者係中東好多即係唔同，我都唔知咩墨西哥，我唔識分嘅。咁樣佢哋即係完全冇表達過呢一方面嘅顧慮，即係擔心。你唔好攞個，你唔好帶個，即係我哋華人有一個好歧視嘅俗語啦，即係一啲印度人咧，我哋會叫佢做阿叉啦，
right.
或者係叉妹啦。
Yeah.
有冇唔準帶個叉妹翻嚟做？
No, not really.
都好開放嘅。
Yeah, they're pretty open-minded about this sort of thing. I think they might have made a comment here or there. But I know like not everyone is like me, but I really try not to let other people get into my business. So, even if I am dating somebody else that my mom does not approve, I'm still going to be doing my own thing. But obviously not everyone is like that. So, yeah, but I think for the most part, no, they're pretty open-minded about it. I think it also depends on the person as well, not just their color. Yeah, for sure.
我哋會咁樣諗，咁就係父母嘅諗法咯。
Yeah. Parents tend to have a more traditional way of thinking. So I think, coming here, it might have also affected that mindset. They might have been a little bit more open-minded just because they're seeing things from a different perspective.
咁如果你有一個小朋友啦，你將來有小朋友嘅時候，你會覺得點樣會係一個好嘅平衡？即係你會唔會都想將你自己嘅一啲香港或者係 Chinese 嘅一啲嘅傳統去 pass 落去俾你嘅小朋友？其實都冇乜所謂啦，我哋都喺加拿大生活，你中意睇 hockey 咪睇 hockey 咯，打 hockey 咪。
Yeah. No, I think it is important to keep some of your own cultural identity. I think the biggest thing is just to keep an open mind. So you should try both, and I think especially since you're in Canada, you definitely should try and do more of the more Canadian stuff, but it is equally as important to pass down your own culture because you are Chinese after all.